Adam was created good. There was nothing wanting. There was nothing wrong with Adam. Of course, though, there's a flip side to the curse of the covenant of works, and that was the reward that was offered to him, which would have been immutable, glorified life, the kind of life that Christ entered into post-resurrection, a glorified existence with God in the heavenly places. So what Adam doesn't yet have is the full expression of his eschatological potency or the religious fellowship that he could have with God in consummation. It's not that there's anything wrong with Adam or that there was any sin or some concupiscence or any drift away from God and toward the creature, but that he had not yet moved from a condition or a state of probation, of mutability to being confirmed, a state of confirmation. So there's this eschatological potency. In other words, there's room for him to grow toward consummation.
And that's a religious growth, not an
religious growth.
One.
Right.
And that's why we talk about the creation. Our parents were in a state of innocency, not in a state of perfection in its absolute sense. Even though, yes, God in the creation account does pronounce his creation very good, but there was an even further potency, as you say.
It's perfect in the ethical sense, but not in the Johannine sense of perfection, fullest, and know the teleology involved there.
And that's what I guess that's what we struggle to articulate, that it's perfect at one level, but not in its fullest sense, that we will experience when our bodies and souls are reunited in the new heavens and the new earth. That's what Adam was offered, without going through a fall and without going through regeneration and justification and sanctification, all those things. He could have had the blessedness and reward, the fruition of his relationship with God by obedience, by not eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil in particular. But in fact, we know that and we've said this before, now the only way to achieve that promised fruition and reward is through faith in Jesus Christ. But that wasn't required in the garden. Right?
Correct.
That's the thing. That wasn't required at that point in time.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is the deeper Protestant conception, right, that we've been talking about.
Exactly.
This is not anything new for us. This is sort of unpacking what we've been saying about the deeper Protestant conception, is that the nature of the fellowship that God is to have that man is to have with God is not a relationship where there is either a sharing in a common ontological experience or a merging of ontological essences,
or something added after the fact. It was created in Adam, this capacity for fellowship and an eschatology and teleology into his very being. He was designed for this. It's his chief end.
Yep. Right. Yeah. Right. And so the exaltation in view is, I think, so very well expressed by our catechism, right? What is man's chief end? Man's chief end is to glorify God and enjoy him forever. That brings into view the eschatological realization or actualization for which man was created, was to glorify and enjoy God, not to somehow become God or become one with God, or for God to become one with us, right? But rather an eternal fellowship, communion fellowship bond that God has ordained for man to be in from the beginning.